The Flying Dutchman joined Arsenal in the summer of '97 for £7 million from Ajax, where he had enjoyed a successful period. After an initial slow start, Overmars soon settled into the Premiership and was a key member of the double winning side in '98, bagging 12 goals and 6 assists. It was Overmars who got the goal against Man United at Old Trafford that perhaps swung the title in Arsenal's direction. And the Dutchman also got the opening goal in the FA Cup final versus Newcastle, helping Arsenal to complete the double. Overmars stayed at Arsenal for a further 2 seasons where he continued to impress, and after that he moved on to Barcelona for £25 million. During his spell at Arsenal, Marc Overmars made 100 league appearances, getting 25 goals and 19 assists. During the 90s, Arsenal won 2 league titles, 2 FA Cups, a League Cup and the Cup Winners' Cup, including a domestic cup double in '93 and a League and FA Cup double in '98. They also finished runners-up in the Cup Winners' Cup and the League during this decade. The club's 2 most successful modern-day managers both oversaw the success, with George Graham reigning in the early part of the decade, and in the latter part of the decade it was Arsene Wenger. Wenger completely revolutionised the style of play and turned the Arsenal into one of the most attractive teams in Europe. Here's my top 5 wingers and playmakers from the 90s. At number 5 is youth team graduate Ray Parlour. Parlour made his debut for Arsenal against Liverpool in '92, and it was a debut to forget as the youngster conceded a penalty. Over the next couple of years he struggled to establish himself in the team, and on top had a few disciplinary issues. It wasn't until the '94-95 season that Parlour made a real breakthrough, with the hard-working and industrious player making 45 appearances and helping Arsenal to a Cup Winners' Cup final. It was though under the tutelage of Arsene Wenger the player made a real name for himself, adding flair to his already industrious game. And in the '97-98 season his performances helped Arsenal to a League and Cup double, with Parlour grabbing an assist in the FA Cup final and also being named Man of the Match. His performances that season earned him the Supporters Player of the Season award and also the nickname the Romford Pele, which was given to him by Marc Overmars, who comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is Anders Limpar, dubbed as the Super Swede. Having joined the club in 1990, he made an immediate impact within the team, his dribbling abilities helping Arsenal to the title in the 1991 season. He grabbed 13 goals during the campaign, including a hat-trick on the final day of the season. Anders Limpar's finest goal for the Gunners came in the '92 campaign when he struck an outrageous 40-yard lob against Liverpool. He went on to help Arsenal to a domestic cup double in '93 and a Cup Winners' Cup trophy in '94. At the end of the '94 season, Limpar moved on to Everton. Number 2 is Magic. Paul Merson came into the decade on a real high after helping Arsenal to the '89 title and winning the PFA Young Player of the Year award. In the 1991 season, Merson again was phenomenal, helping Arsenal to the 2nd title in 3 seasons, bagging a career high of 13 goals. The following season, it was much the same from the irresistible Merson, helping himself to another 12 goals. The Magic Man scored in the '93 League Cup final the year after, helping Arsenal to a domestic cup double. And he was to have yet more success in '94, scoring 3 times on the way to Arsenal winning the Cup Winners' Cup. Later that year though, things took a turn for the worse for Merson, as he admitted to having drugs, alcohol and gambling addiction and went into a 3-month rehab program. He returned to the first team in February '95 and helped the Gunners onto a second successive Cup Winners' Cup final. He continued being a regular first teamer in '96 and '97 under Bruce Rioch and then Arsene Wenger, but he decided to leave at the end of the '96-97 season to join Middlesbrough. He finished his Arsenal career having racked up 423 appearances and scoring 1 goal short of a century. In our previous video, the top 5 strikers of the 90s, I ranked Dennis Bergkamp as number 2. Go and check that out if you haven't already. But he comes in at the top of the tree in the winger and playmaker category for me. He was the guy that was the catalyst in changing the club's boring image, and I would argue no foreign import impacted the English game more than Dennis Bergkamp. His exquisite technique and vision and ability to play the pass through the eye of a needle was unequalled, the perfect number 10. He scored 63 goals during the 90s, and finding one scrappy goal amongst them would be a difficult task. Helping Arsenal to the double in '98, where he was top scorer and double player of the year winner, the Iceman is number 1. So that's my top 5 wingers and playmakers of the 90s. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments down below your top 5. Thanks for watching this video, and please do subscribe, like and share this video. Also follow us on Twitter too. Remember to keep safe during this global pandemic and stay gooned.